Man, Malik Monk goes, they looked old and tired. And I was like, thank you.
God, why do people not
Thank
learn, man?
you. Okay,
I
Steph
just
Curry has said, he's made it clear, I'm the petty king. I'm the petty king. You give you anything that fuels
right.
me. Malik Monk, like his teammates must have been smacking the shit out of him. Like, what are
Oh,
you
they're so
doing?
upset. Right,
Don't poke the goddamn beast.
right.
He's already said when he's having that bad first half, he'll check Twitter to see people trashing on him, and they'll come out in the second half and tear shit up.
What are they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now?
All right, welcome to another episode of What Are They Going to Say Now? Jay and Tony, as usual, back here with you. And it's the next day, and we're just basking in the limelight, the glow of Game 7 Steph Curry over the Kings. An
Fitty,
all-time
fitty.
performance. Yeah, most points ever scored in the Game 7, 50 points. Topping, I believe Kevin Durant put up a 47 or 48 once. That was Kevin Durant's record prior in the Game 7.
Yep.
Yeah. And I do have to just take credit for this right off. At halftime in our group thread, Curry had 20 at half. And I was like, Curry is not going to let this team lose this game. He's putting up 50. Nailed it on the number.
You called it. You called your shot.
Yeah.
The Hank
He had,
Aaron.
he had that look in his eye, like he was pacing himself in the first half, knowing he's going to need all he could give in the second half.
Yeah.
So,
Man,
man, what a game.
The craziest part was he had a good first half. And it was like, okay, you're feeling good
Yeah.
about things. And then
they were down two. They were down two at the half.
Yeah, right. And he just turned up, man. He gets a weird, like a vibe about him when he's on. Like he has a look in his eye, and it's just like that determination and will. And I know when defenders see that, they're like, "Oh boy!" Like there's literally nothing you could do. You could throw three people at him, doesn't matter.
Well, and what I love about Steph is he's kind of a goofball, but he's like the ultimate showman.
Yeah.
Like Jordan and Steph are the two greatest showmen in NBA history. Like
I put Kobe up there too.
Kobe's a showman too. Yeah. But Curry's just out there. Then he misses those two free throws. Then the next one, he puts a big smile on his face and a smirking grin and makes it. And he's just goofing out there and just next level. What a legendary performance. Just, oh man. One man destroys an entire city and fan base. Just, oh.
Yep. I mean, you just put this up there with his other legendary performances he's done, right? This is up there with Game 4 in the finals. This is up there with, I know we think that he's had, his finals numbers are great, right? His playoff numbers in general. Like, I know he gets a lot of grief for, some of the missteps and maybe a big, a Game 7 or something like that when he was injured, by the way. Yeah. But it's just, it's unreal what this guy continues to do. Put the team on his back. And I think I sent you the story, Jay, but Marcus Thompson over there at The Athletic did a great article about, and Shams Charania actually co-wrote that, about a meeting that Steph called after Game 6.
Yeah, which started though after Game 6. Draymond texts him at 3:45 in the morning.
Right.
Can't sleep. Steph texts him back at like 6 a.m. He's like, I haven't been able to sleep either. And then they're just talking, and Steph says, before we do our game film with the group meeting today, I got this. Let me talk.
And that's big.
Like, all right. Because Curry
he's
isn't
not
a big
really
talker.
The vocal one.
He's not the vocal one, but he's like, let me talk.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure it's been well circulated by now, but his whole thing of just like, put all your stuff aside. If you're not with the team and you're worrying about yourself, don't get on that bus.
Even show up. Yeah.
And if you do and you're with me, I promise you I will lead you to victory. Like that's some baller shit, dude.
Right.
Like what a legend.
It's like the Braveheart speech or something, right? Like it's just like, how do you not like run through a wall for that?
I forget who said it. Someone said,
I mean?
like, it gave me chills.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, and then to follow it up with that performance, right? And like
I'll just put up the most game points ever in a game 7. No big deal.
And you know what I love? Like that showed me that he was serious and like went after it. 38 shots. 38 shots. Like that shows me he was
most attempts he's ever had in the game.
Yeah, he knew he had to be that aggressive.
Well, Clay was not playing well.
No. Wiggins missed a lot of shots.
Draymond was fine. Wiggins played some good defense. So did Clay, actually. But offensively, it was. I mean, Looney was a beast on the boards again. Like Looney, man. I think people are now, after last year in the playoffs and then this year, realizing he's like maybe the most underrated player in the league. Just a beast on the boards when it matters.
As a big, at least. Yeah, absolutely.
Three games with 20 plus rebounds in a series. Unreal. So, man, just what a game. What do you even, it's like, and I wasn't even that surprised by it. I was like, Curry is not going out like that. He's not going out like that. And then he gets, after the game 6 loss, which was horrible, Sacramento just took it to him. And that night, in the post presser, man, Malik Monk goes, they looked old and tired. And I was like, thank you.
God, why do people not
Thank you. Man? Okay. Steph Curry has said, he's made it clear, I'm the petty king. I'm the petty king. You give you anything that fuels me. Malik Monk, like his teammates must have been smacking the shit out of him. Like, what are you
they're
doing?
So upset. Right.
Don't poke the goddamn beast.
Right.
I mean, he's already said when he's having that bad first half, he'll check Twitter to see people trashing on him, and they'll come out in the second half and tear shit up. How could you open your mouth against this team with a championship pedigree and Steph Curry, who said specifically he lives for that shit? Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. His teammates are probably quietly pissed. Like, what are you doing, dude?
And they all mentioned it too. I don't know if you saw Draymond said, he called us old. Like, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you think we're old? All right.
Yeah. Well, you know what comes with age? Experience.
Right. About to get spanked by these old heads.
So I like Malik Monk, although was really a big time flopper in this series. Wasn't a fan of that.
He had a very good series though. He
was really good. He impressed me. Just the flopping I don't like. But it's like, dude, lesson learned, young buck.
I mean, I will say that they were giving him all the calls. So if I was him, I would have kept doing what I was doing. I'm not mad at him, but you're not.
There are certain
trash.
players in the league, Steph, LeBron. It's like you do not talk shit about them before the game because they live for it. You do not do that ever.
Dylan Brooks might be thinking about that lesson with LeBron recently.
Exactly. Dylan Brooks called LeBron old, right? Basically, and like, oh, whatever. And oh, I'm not impressed until you put 40 on me, and then the Lakers beat them by 40.
Right. So, but yeah, just an unreal game, man. And to coincide with what Curry was doing, I thought that they really locked in behind him, not so much offensively, but defensively and rebounding. Like Looney was just swallowing up rebounds. I think he had 13 offensive rebounds.
Yeah. Steph didn't have a lot of help on offense, and he just had to carry the show. But on defense, and that really kept it going.
Yeah.
Second half of the third quarter, first half of the fourth quarter, they were locking it down. Team defense. So I know that some guys were struggling, Clay, Draymond, but they were on defense. They were fantastic.
Everybody was defending. Yeah.
Yeah. And Looney's grabbing boards.
Yep.
And so, and we've always said this has been the mantra for the Warriors going back to the beginning of the Steve Kerr era. Our defense fuels our offense.
Absolutely.
So they're getting stops, they're going down transition, and Curry's just wreaking havoc. And the other thing, the other thing
no, go ahead.
Was they actually slowed the pace down at times, though. As much as they like transition, they slowed the pace down as much as they could on the other side because their half court defense all series has been good against Sacramento. Sacramento is mostly trashing them in transition.
Yeah.
And that also ties into only 7 turnovers. Curry only had 1 turnover.
Unreal. With as much as he had the ball,
transition buckets.
Yeah.
So they cleaned that up.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Half court defense was good all series. They were just getting cooked in transition.
Yeah.
So
it's counterintuitive, right? Because you think of run and gun when you think of the Warriors, right? But then you think about these guys being a little long in the tooth, right? Being a little older, and like the amount of minutes that they're playing, they need to get to walk it up a few times to get to rest and everything else. Like Steph barely rested in the game, so I saw him conserving energy.
At one point, Kerr took a timeout just to give Curry a chance to sit down and rest. And then he went right back in. He didn't even. He just sat down. That was it.
I thought it was a very good Kerr rotation game. Like, he rode his guys. He knew that he was going to have to play him a lot of minutes, and he just, like you said, he spaced it out. He got Steph rest when he could, and kind of like played the minutes there if they were still up, and if they were doing well, he'd keep Steph out for a little bit.
Well, I have two things for you. That's 7 turnovers in the game, lowest all season when they needed it. Least they've had all season. And Steph, Clay, and Dre, I believe, played 27 minutes together, most all season that the big three's been on the court together. So Kerr just leaned into what they do hard when back against the wall, get it done.
Yeah.
Masterful job by Kerr this series. Absolutely. Especially going up against Mike Brown, who just won unanimous vote for Coach of the Year. Good for him. Well deserved.
Yeah. Well, and I would say I think they learned Game 6, I think, was a failure on everybody's part. So I know we're praising everybody on Game 7, and Kerr did do a great job Game 7, but Game 6 was not good. And I think they all realized it. They were able to course correct. But yeah, if it would have gone out like that, or if they would have gone out, got blown out in Game 7 or something like that, that might have been the end of, a lot of things.
A lot of questions.
So, and they just weren't ready for that to be the case. So, shout out to the God, 50 points. We're going to be talking about that game for a long time.
And Curry doesn't talk a lot of trash, but dude, what a savage. He's just like, y'all aren't ready for this shit. Like, you're
Did you see
ready.
him saying, light the beam?
Yeah,
he's pushing down the beam there. Yeah, he's.
And there's the clip. Have you seen that Warriors fan in the crowd in Sac? And he goes, 5-0 on your head, and he's tapping his head like.
Wow.
And Curry points at him. That was pretty awesome.
Unreal.
I mean, man. So let's talk about Sacramento a little bit, though. A couple takeaways from this series. First,
great season, man.
De'Aaron Fox is a superstar in the making. He took a leap this year. He was already good. He is going to be something. He took that leap.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of the best point guards in the game, or he already is. He's right there.
And you could tell that there's a respect factor there with Fox. They basically, admitted, like, you gave us a run, man. Like, that's one of the up and coming guys. We all thought he was good, but he definitely put it on another level. Yeah.
Well, then it's interesting. You watch a regular season, you see a lot of trends, but there's something about the playoffs that really exposes the truth. And so on the flip side, and I've been a big proponent of Sabonis this season because I went to a couple games and I was like, man, he looked great out there on the floor. He got his ass handed to him by Looney in this series. He got handed. And also just some of the trying to drag players down and all that stuff. Just some man, like I was a fan. I'm just kind of like off on him. He didn't. Also, Draymond called him out in his podcast last night and said,
shake his hand.
He went to the locker room like a bitch and didn't shake anybody's hands.
Like a bitch.
Just, and he's like, I lost a ton of respect for Sabonis. So, I mean, he's soft. Yeah. Regular season he looks great, but that's what you do in the playoffs. You play like that, and then you just act like that. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they just took it to him, man. Like, if you're a traditional big, and you can't stay out on the floor and play like in the system that the Warriors play in, if you can't shoot, if you can't play make, this and that, and all you do is bully your way into the paint, you're dead. Against the Warriors, they're gonna seek you out. Like, you may have a good game or two, but you could just tell that basically they couldn't have him on the floor, right? Every time they had him on there, they were seeking him out. It was bad.
Sabonis is going to end up on an all-NBA team, and Looney just took him to school.
And how much less does Looney make than Sabonis, right?
Looney has maybe the best contract in the league. Ridiculous. It's a very friendly contract. I remember when he signed that, I was very happy.
He better never pay for a meal in the Bay Area ever.
He won't.
Like I just think, build the statue now, man. Looney.
I think Looney wants to be a Warrior for life too.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I hope this whole core stays, man, and just all retire at the same time. Like, I would love that.
Well, Looney's younger, but
yeah. But I just wanted to say also, man, shout out to our guest that we had on the podcast, Matt Cusack, for calling the shot. We were a little down. I was a little down. I don't know about you, Jay. I'm not gonna speak for both of us. I was down when we were down 0-2. I was like,
it's like, you guys are fine.
He's like, yeah, you guys will be all right. You're gonna do, you guys are gonna come back, this and that, and shout out. He was right, man. After Game 6, I felt the same way. I did not feel good. But.
Oh, I did. I was like, the Warriors are not going to go out like this. They were underdogs.
You talked me off the ledge for sure.
They were underdogs by 1.5 points. So did I bet $500 in the Warriors in Game 7? You're damn right I did.
Wow. Okay.
I'm like,
you didn't tell me that.
Points? Yeah. And it's funny. I was also reading Joe Lacob has been very quiet. He's like, I'm going to leave this to the players. I'm not going to talk all series. He's been very quiet.
Like
and I think it was Tim Kawakami said, like, on the sidelines before Game 7 started, he goes, so, like, if we lose, what's what is this going to mean? And Lacob looks at him like he's an idiot and goes, we aren't going to lose this game.
If we lose? Wow.
Yeah. Like, are you an idiot?
Oh, he's not losing that confidence. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Unreal.
Lacob knows that Curry is not going to go out like that.
Right. Right.
So, otherworldly, just incredible.
Yep. Put it up there in the pantheon of playoff performances for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, rolling off of the Warriors now, we should probably talk about the next round. So, crazy. What if you had told me 3 months ago that the Warriors and Lakers would play in the second round of the playoffs? I would say no chance in hell.
No. Right.
Right. What are the odds of that? And there you go. And the Lakers are a formidable team now.
Both teams struggled on the
They're both
season,
very
right?
different than they were, too.
Yeah.
Warriors were missing players all on and off. And
Wiggins,
Lakers had that big
GP2.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to make predictions for each series. So I have the Warriors winning this in 6.
So Warriors have
home court. They have home court.
So you're saying Warriors are winning Game 6 on the road in LA?
Yep.
I like it. Okay. Oh man.
Hey, they just won 2 in Sacramento.
They did. I'm gonna say 7. I just think this is gonna be a war, man. I mean, I'm picking the Warriors to win. I didn't say who won. I'm picking the Warriors to win. But this is not gonna be easy, man. Anthony Davis is a whole different beast, like as far as like a big and dealing with him. And LeBron is LeBron, man. He gets up for the Warriors, man. So
well, a couple things though, and this is why I went 6. LeBron's got a hurt foot. And we saw it towards the end of that series against Memphis. His foot, I think he's going to have surgery after the season on it. It's like a little messed up. And so that's part of what...
Didn't he go to the LeBron James of feet? Did you hear about this? The doctor he saw?
No. But anyway, nonetheless, he's not 100% with the foot. And I mean, he was looking, I know you said the Warriors are old, but the Lakers are actually old. Like LeBron's 38. He was running on fumes in the end of that Memphis series. And it's worth noting in this series, every game is 1 day off in between. There are no 2 days of rest between every single game. That's going to impact LeBron. LeBron's an older 38 than Curry is a 35. Curry's a young 35. And I say this because, well, first of all, LeBron's in amazing shape, of course. I mean, Curry has legendary workouts where guys have tried to do it and they have to go out in the corner of the gym and throw up. This doesn't mean LeBron doesn't work hard, but all the miles that LeBron has on him, I know Curry gets clutched and grabbed, but LeBron's been banging bodies for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's taken more of a beating for sure on his body. So I just think that that schedule of every other day is going to be tougher for him.
I hear you.
And his foot bugging him too.
Yeah. I would just say as far as them being an old team, I feel like the average age on the Warriors is older because of the core, right? Everybody's
well, the Lakers did get younger with that trade,
right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think in general,
but also Anthony Davis and health issues.
Yeah,
I mean that guy needs his rest too because he's injured all the time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The only thing I would say why I'm saying 7, and I'm a little hesitant. First of all, First of all, both teams look great in their closeout games.
Yeah.
The Lakers just pounded the Grizzlies, which, at that point, the Grizzlies were kind of
The Grizzlies knew it was
hobbling
over.
anyways. But I will also say that the fact that the Warriors didn't finish it in 6 games and that it went to 7 and now we have to
So
play.
the Lakers got more rest in advance.
That kind of, that worries me a little bit just as far as longevity of the series, because you're right, now it's every other day. And I think that, I could see that affecting both teams, but I just think for the start of the series, like I think game 1 is going to tell us a lot, right? If the Warriors come out at home and are playing at the level they were playing game 7 and looking dominant, then I think, okay, maybe this is good. Maybe this is going to be an earlier series than we think, but I could see it being a little bit of a struggle.
I'm definitely glad for the Warriors' sake, having the longer series and only a day off in between, that they're at home to start. I think that's a big deal.
Right. Oh yeah.
I would not like their chances with one day in between going down to LA,
right,
for game 1. So
but would you be surprised if they split the first 2 games?
No, not at all.
So that's what I'm saying basically. Is I don't see the Warriors coming out and winning both of those, and that's why I think
the Lakers might be favored for game 1, and I understand why.
Yeah, I haven't seen the line on it. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible, but
it'll be a great series. And I also want to say in advance, there's going to be so many ridiculous hot takes about legacies and blah blah blah, LeBron and Steph, and it's like,
just enjoy it.
I'm already annoyed by it. It's like they've already had all these big matchups. Yeah. They're in their mid to late 30s now. Just enjoy it and also all the bad blood stuff is gone. Between like Draymond and LeBron, they're all friends now.
Definitely between Draymond and LeBron.
Yeah, but no Curry and LeBron.
No, I know. They respect each other.
So it's like I hope people don't I'm already annoyed because I know people are gonna just have these ridiculous hot takes and act like it changes. It doesn't change either of their legacies.
No, at all. These guys are all first ballot Hall of Fame guys.
2 all-time greats. Let's just enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to tune out the nonsense. It's gonna be there no matter what happens.
And
it might even be worse if the Warriors do win and knock off the Lakers and LeBron. The nonsense will be even more annoying, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just like calm down.
Yeah. I just the thing that will make that kind of disappear for me, at least, is if it's just an epic series, right? If it's just the basketball is that great, 2 great teams, you know what I mean, battling it out. I think it's gonna be really fun, man. I said 7 games, which I feel like 7 games, calling it in either direction, you're just saying, I don't know. It's gonna be a good series, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that for sure is gonna be an interesting series, and I think it's gonna break all kinds of ratings records.
Oh yeah.
It's just I mean, because you have all the the casual fans who just know about LeBron and about Steph.
Well, you also have LA fans who want to go up to San Francisco and vice versa. So just the tickets are going to be insane. It's just going to be nuts.
Well, I hope they bring their pockets are ready, because
I'll tell you, maybe one of the key players of the series is we need to see Jordan Poole straighten some things out. Yeah. I think that's going to be important.
I think this is a better series for him. I do. Because I think there's going to be so much attention on
he's going to get
the Lakers trying to guard Steph. Yeah, he's going to have open shots. Whereas I feel like they were able to focus on him a little bit more this series, and there was a lot of athletes on Sacramento who could kind of give him problems.
Some of it.
Yeah. I feel like Kuminga might get a little more run in this series. Like you get another athlete out there.
Sacramento wasn't a great matchup for Kuminga either.
No. Moody played great, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing that I think this series will give those guys is I think Kerr's going to be a little bit more open to playing some of those guys because it's a better matchup for some of the bench. So,
okay, well, moving on to the other series, tipping off literally right now, we have Philly and the Boston Celtics. Embiid is out for game 1, which is a total bummer. It's hard for me to predict this. I have Boston in 6. I think Harden has been playing really well lately. Can win a game or 2.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens with Embiid. Boston definitely has Philly's number. That's going back a while. So I have Boston in 6 because I think Philly's not going to just fold up either. But Boston's a deeper, better squad, and the Embiid injury is a big deal. Yeah. So that's what I have.
I mean, I I like your pick. I think I'm gonna co-sign that. I will say with the caveat of if Embiid is actually like out multiple games,
It could
or
be it could be in 5 or
it could be a
sweep or
gentleman's
something.
sweep. Yeah, I mean it's just because it's basically Harden against the world. I mean you have some other pieces there in Philly, but it could get really ugly. Boston hasn't had a great run so far as they kind of struggled a little bit too, so it's possible that it could be a longer series, but
I feel like Boston maybe took that series a little lightly too.
Yeah,
against Atlanta, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. Okay, so the other two series have already had the first game played. That doesn't change my pick in either of them. We have Miami and the New York Knicks, and my pick, I'm still going to stick with this. Miami won game 1, but towards the end of the game, Jimmy Butler turned his ankle pretty bad. And that's a big deal because Miami without Jimmy Butler is toast. I think he's scheduled to play, but he's not going to be 100%. So my original pick, and I'm still sticking with it even after Miami takes game 1, I have the Knicks in 7.
7, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that they win in 6 games, the Knicks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that based on the Jimmy Butler ankle thing or no?
No, I feel like the Knicks are the better team. I feel like Miami did amazing, and I'm not trying to discount anything Jimmy Butler does or anything like that, but I feel like Milwaukee was supposed to win that series and didn't. And I feel like a little bit of that luck, and I mean they did have to get a little bit lucky to
you don't want to say it's luck, but they shot way over their normal average from 3-point range. That was a difference maker in that series, Miami.
And
so
took all world games from Jimmy Butler,
is that sustainable?
Plus Miami choking or Milwaukee choking.
Now a different aspect of this that's interesting though is you do have Jimmy Butler against a Tom Thibodeau team. Remember, he was his coach in Minnesota when shit went sideways.
Yeah.
And they had that crazy thing with Rachel Nichols at the practice and the whole thing.
That's right. Yeah.
So I wonder what that relationship is like between them. Jimmy seems like he can hold a grudge.
Listen, I mean, would it shock me if Jimmy has, even injured, coming in and just dominates? No, it wouldn't.
That's why I went 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had picked them in the Knicks in 6 games before yesterday, and I still feel like they're just gonna, have a run here because they're a good team. So.
And they are going to get Julius Randle back. It'll be interesting to see how they slot him into their rotations.
And
how
missed
that works
a lot
out.
of shots yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they dominated pretty thoroughly the first half of that game.
Yeah.
And they just kind of let go of the rope there and miss shots, and it can happen in a playoff game. So, I do think the Knicks are going to pull that one out. So,
yeah, me too, and I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, so last but not least, we have Denver at Phoenix, and in game 1, Denver stomped on Phoenix hard. I'm still going to stick with my pick. I'm not going to change it. I had Denver in 7. And there's a couple reasons I think it'll go 7. I think overall Denver's the better team. They're a deeper squad. Phoenix is top heavy. It's worth noting that game was in Denver, and Denver has home court advantage over them.
Altitude.
Yeah, I mean, Denver had a great home record. They had a losing record on the road this season.
Wow.
So, I mean, it looks like Denver right now is just going to walk over them. But let's see what happens when they go back to Phoenix, right? They don't have that home court advantage anymore, and they've struggled on the road. Not many 1 seeds have a losing record on the road like that.
Yeah.
So, but they do have home court. And I just feel like Durant and Booker are definitely going to win a couple games on their backs.
Yeah.
We really need to see, with Jokic, we really need to see something from Aiden for Phoenix. And, last in the off season, Aiden was like trying to get a max deal. He didn't quite get it, but like, I think Indiana put an offer sheet out to him, and then Phoenix was forced to match it.
Yeah.
But I'm just, when I watch Phoenix, I never I never even notice Aiden, for a guy that high profile with that big a salary. It's kind of like, where is he?
Yeah.
Know what I mean? And he had like 8 boards in game 1. He needs to get more boards for sure. Durant had 14. So, I mean, I think Aiden's going to need to step up, and on the offensive side, they need to put Jokic in every action and try and wear him down.
Mm.
But also, I mean, we're seeing Jokic now with a proper sidekick with Jamal Murray, who played fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think Denver's going to be too much for them. And Phoenix, with all the roster changes with KD coming in and all that, they don't have the continuity yet. The chemistry is not there yet. So
yeah,
I got Denver in 7.
Okay. I'm also picking Denver. And I think I'm going to go 7 with you also. I do think, Phoenix will win some games, especially at home. I could see this being a series where the home team keeps winning, you know what I mean? Something like that. Or it is going to be tight, but I don't know. I have some question marks with Phoenix, just in general with depth. Ayton is a big question mark, like you said. I think that was spot on. I question his motor and his energy sometimes. He just doesn't really seem to attack.
Well, like I said, he
on either side of the ball.
He kind of disappears, right?
Right.
Like I forget about him completely. Yeah.
And another big question mark for me in this, I know we're not huge fans of the guy, but I mean, he's a great player, but Chris Paul, man, I just, if you're talking about, needing a veteran presence and like having to rely on that guy, like as the playoffs go on, we've seen it time and time again. The guy just wears down.
Well, that's why that's why I said it was going to go 7. That's why I said it was going to go 7. So
yeah, so
and KD, of course.
Yeah, I mean KD. If you have KD on your team and Devin Booker, I would say, that both of those guys, like you have enough firepower where you can win games with just those two. But like we're talking about with depth, and Denver's really good, man. Denver is like Murray is on a mission. Jokic is who Jokic is. Denver's not a pushover, man. And you look at the star power of Phoenix and you say, oh, well, how can anybody beat Phoenix? But Denver's got continuity. They know, like they trust each other.
You need more than your stars at top. You need a good roster around those stars.
Yeah.
To fill it all out.
Right. And they've been building that thing for a long time in Denver. They just haven't pushed that over the top. So,
well, and Murray was hurt last year. So
there you go. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing that has come out of game 1. Like the Nuggets hit 8 more 3-pointers than Phoenix. Phoenix needs to hit some 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, shout out to underrated signing for Denver, and he's really been impactful. I think he put up 23 in game 1. Aaron Gordon, who was toiling away in Orlando in obscurity, and but a really good player. And I thought that was a really kind of an underrated signing. Like he's a quality piece for Denver.
He's fit in really well there, both sides of the ball, very athletic. But just kind of like, I'm surprised that he plugged in as easily as he has, right?
Yeah.
Like he seemed, because he was kind of one of those guys who it seemed like puts up points on a bad team, right?
Right.
And you never know. You never know how those guys will do in like a team aspect. He's been really good, man. So you got Michael Porter Jr. You got they have a squad, man. It's
KCP too.
Yeah. So we're saying 2 long series.
So we're saying Warriors and Denver.
After both going 7 games, that would be wow.
Which I like because the Warriors have Denver's number. They have for quite a while.
Yeah.
I like that matchup.
It's a good matchup. Denver would have home court.
Yeah.
But, I feel like
well, Draymond gives Jokic problems. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
We saw it last year. We saw it 3 years ago or 4, I forget which year, multiple times. So
I worry a little bit about, I mean, we're talking strictly hypotheticals with this matchup, but I do worry about a little bit of depth with the Warriors, like counting on those guys to
like Poole,
in a series with Denver. I mean, but if they get through LA, then I think they're gonna have to like solve some of that stuff. So then they would be.
I mean, I picked the Warriors to go to the finals, but I have to say, right now, you got to say Denver are the favorites for sure.
Oh yeah, they would definitely be favored in that series. Yeah. But we'll see, man. It's been fun. I can't believe
great playoffs so far.
I can't believe it's only been 1 round. Like it feels like just because it's 7 games and like just all the drama, all the all the stuff, man.
It's the play-in tournament was dramatic. Yeah,
the play-in tournament. Yeah, so and it's only just got started, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I think I told you. So I actually next Friday I'm heading out to Phoenix for a week on a golf trip, and I'm hoping to maybe catch one of those Nuggets Phoenix games out there.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll be posting some live updates on our Instagram if I'm able to make that happen. Get some last second tickets that aren't crazy expensive.
Yeah, you can have to post something outside the stadium.
Considering I'm used to Warriors tickets everywhere else will seem cheap.
Right.
So,
exactly. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we'll catch up probably middle of next week while I'm out there and check in on the second series so far at that point. I think we'll do 2 podcasts a week through the playoffs. Yeah.
At least. Yeah. It's going to get crazy. So.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. And as always, please subscribe or leave comments. Follow us on Instagram and, subscribe on YouTube or Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere. So we appreciate it.
All right. Till next time. Peace.